We got to bring on Hank now, Smiling Hank, and I want to be not the first to congratulate him on his Hall of Fame induction, but the latest. How you doing, Hank? How's it feel to be a Hall of Famer?
Oh, man, it's surreal. I mean, we're on cloud nine over here, Rod, and we're really enjoying this moment. Thank you so much, big man.
You know, I got to say this, Henry. The first thing that I thought about when I heard of your induction wasn't the accolades. It was the struggles. And I've known you since almost day one, since you came into the Canadian Football League. Do you think that people don't know that or they overlook that? It has not been easy for you, and that's why I'm the happiest for you. And you know what I'm talking about.
Well, thank you so much. I mean, it just seemed like regardless of you know, some of the achievements that we had, it always came to that crossroads where you end up feeling like, am I being appreciated, you know, with the value that we help add to different organizations? You know, what's going on? Do they not understand my value? But you know what? My dad, he's overcame so many odds, and I was thankful to have my father in my life, you know, because he wasn't allowed to play Major League Baseball because of the color of his skin. And he taught me how to be defiant and overcoming those odds and always stay focused on the prize at the end of the journey. And so for me, whenever I was traded from Calgary, or even when I signed from Saskatchewan and went to Calgary, you know, I had to stay focused on the prize. And even for me, as hard as it was to leave Calgary, you know, 2 years later, I was in a Grey Cup with Hamilton, then cut. And then 2 years later, I was in a Grey Cup with Ottawa before, you know, winning the 1 year 3. And then my career was over. So like you mentioned, I've been through so many different things, but I kept my focus on the prize. And now to be here in this moment where I'm the 21st first ballot Hall of Fame player inducted since 1909, I'm mind blown right now, guys.
You should be, and you deserve it. But John Frenzy's just itching to ask a question. So here's the Hall of Fame rider broadcast.
Great time.
Go ahead, Frenzy.
Great seeing you again.
Love his voice.
Congratulations,
Great seeing you, buddy.
Congratulations. I got to go a little bit off here. I'm really concerned about the future of the CFL. I don't know if they're working hard on it to get it formulated, to bring it all together, or some kind of plan, but everybody I talk to in this city, and you know what this city's like, people are going crazy about this thing. No answers, but they love their football team. The guys have gone, like I have, 50 years without football. We're used to having football. It's so big. It's so important in our lifetime in Regina. And I just wonder, what do you hear about? What's going to happen? Is there anything going to happen at all?
Well, if anything's going to happen, we need money to do it. And right now, where's the money going to come from? Because me being here in Ottawa, all the talks about Trudeau's taking care of the Trudeaus and the Morneaus taking care of the Morneaus. So as long as they're looking inward and taking care of their tight circle, nobody on the outside is going to be affected. And it's a shame because I know if I'm a part of the federal government, I'm focusing more on the fabric of what makes Canadians Canadians. And the thing is, the only professional base league, as far as that was based out of Canada, is the Canadian Football League. So why not take care of all the jobs that, scour our entire country from coast to coast? Why not take care of the game that has one of the best spectacles that everybody awaits each year, known as the Grey Cup? Why not help that out? Why not invest into that? Because we're talking thousands and thousands of jobs and a few $1 billion that can be injected into our economy from coast to coast. If I'm an economist, if it's all about dollars and cents, then those dollars do make sense. And right now the dollars are being put in the wrong area, because if I ran a company and I mismanaged, that's my fault. That's my fault. And in order for the government to bail us out, it's all based on friendships. But right now, as we can tell, the Trudeaus, I guess they just aren't big fans of the CFL.
Well, you've just been racked rock star of the day, rant of the day. Way to go, Henry. Brought to you by Bronco Plumbing and Heating. But to the funner stuff, Hank, some of the viewers have written in and they want to know, if this was baseball, you'd have to pick a ball cap to be going into Cooperstown. So if you were picking a cap, what would you be wearing going into Hamilton, into the Hall of Fame?
Well, you know, my blood pumps green, it pumps Calgary red, it pumps Hamilton yellow. But I'm wearing the Red Blacks hat in there because
there it is.
Ottawa needs representation in the Hall of Fame. I mean, there's a lot of Stampeders. There's a number of Rough Riders. There's a number of Ticats in the Hall of Fame, but there's nobody wearing the Red Blacks color. And to be a part of helping change the narrative after 40 years of waiting for a championship here in the capital city, to help change people's lives and give them hope in this city. And now even guys, it's like Regina here, when I go to a grocery store, people are crying saying thank you. So in order to know you had that impact on one given market, one given city, hey, there's no doubt I have to go in any other color than red and black.
I should have known you'd have an answer. Very polished answer, too, by the way. Okay, Frenzy, one more. What else you got?
What are you doing now? What are you doing now these days?
Well, for me, of course, I'm working with the CFL on TSN as a panelist and doing some analyst work, also play-by-play. Of course, my wife and I, we continue to give back to charities. I work with a number of different foundations here in Ottawa as far as from an ambassador standpoint and speaking on that behalf. I do a lot of motivational speaking, which keeps me actually very busy. And then, of course, my wife and I, we have a number of different things all slated to give back to kids, helping to improve education as far as in some of the lower economic areas here where there just aren't the resources and the tools to help kids out. And we just want to help young men and women have the same opportunities that we all did, guys, to live out our dreams, because it always took somebody else to help us out in order to reach our goals. And that's what we're trying to do, create that presence in young kids' lives.
Way to go, Hank. You're going to be a success no matter what you do. You always are. By the way, welcome to the world of, well, you've been in public life forever, but Stampeders fans have just written in and said, well, that's disappointing. A Vancouver guy just wrote in and said, all respect, Hank, but that's a low blow to Trudeau, blah, blah, blah. So listen, continue to speak your truth, Hank, because that's going to be your ticket. And my wife said to me, when I said that you were coming on the air today, she's like, was Henry still mad at you about that 2010s thing? I said, Hank and I got the kind of relationship that can withstand stuff like that. Am I right?
Hey, we're better than you and Bo. I can always promise you that.
Doesn't take much.
Ron, you know you're my guy. You know you're my guy always.
All right, hey, congratulations.
A hard time.
You betcha.
Hey,
love you, buddy.
Thanks for having me, brother.
Have a great weekend, and congrats again.
Hey, definitely. You too. Thanks a lot. And John, always great hearing your voice, buddy.
Thank you much, buddy.
All right. The smiling one, Henry Burris, joining us from Ottawa with, wow, we're dropping bombs all over the place.
Is he impressive or what?
So impressive. You do whatever he puts his mind to.
Yep. Fantastic.
And I'll say that they tell me that Kahari's with us and he's going to come up after the break. But I talk about Hank's clashes with Roy Shivers here and Ken Austin in Hamilton and Marcel Desjardins in Ottawa. But, you know, he overcame all those things. And then I think about that knee injury in the 2016 Grey Cup that we didn't even get into. Yeah. I'm going to tell you something. Henry Burris's induction speech at the Canadian Football Hall of Fame induction night will rival Michael Irvin's. It'll rival some of the greatest induction speeches you've ever heard.
Oh, I didn't doubt that.
I'll tell you that right now.
Great speaker.
And I can't wait. I hope I'm there for it.
And a great guy. Eh? What a fabulous man.
From our summer student, Mad Max, one of the most well-spoken professionals I've ever heard. Congrats on induction, Hank. He seems very at peace and very happy in that interview with that.
Sure
because
does.
He's been fighting with a chip on his shoulder his whole life. And in a way, I hope that it stays there forever.
And I want him to stay in Ottawa forever. In the Canadian Football League. And you do too.
Yes, I do.
You're watching Rod Pedersen On Demand. For more of The Rod Pedersen Show, visit rodpedersen.com or follow Rod Pedersen on social media.